Hello, all my bricks and bricksters. I just want to say one thing before I want to get this video started. Sorry if I haven't made a video for a very long time. It's actually because I was actually trying my best to come up with some video ideas for the channel. So I wouldn't say it was a full-on quote-unquote break. I was just trying to figure out what's my next plans for the video for the month, since now I have 200 subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing, but I really appreciate if all of you keep subscribing to this channel. It will really make me happy. Anyway, what we're going to be doing for today is I'm going to be comparing movies which I never really done before, except for the time when I compared Aladdin's, both the 1992 animated and the 2019 live action. But it was just for comparing some few things, since it's basically a new spin-off remake kind of thing. I don't really know, but anyway, this time it's two different movies, and we're going to be comparing is Madagascar and Open Season. This idea came from my brother. Well, not really, but after we've been watching Open Season and Madagascar, he noticed that there are some few comparisons to the films, like how the characters are alike and how they reflect on each other. And that inspired me to make a comparison video. So with that, I decided to make it a video idea. So thank you very much. So what I'm going to be doing is comparing some few things that what they reflect on the films, but how I see it, I don't really see that Open Season and Madagascar have a close reflections on each other. So I found some few differences. I actually researched it down on my computer, and I have my laptop right in front of me to help me see the differences are the ones that I listed out. So if you see me looking at this way, that means I'm looking at my computer. But anyway, are you guys ready? All right then, let's get started. So we're going to actually start out is reflections, like how the films reflect with their own with each other. Starting off, they have pampered main characters. For example, Alex the lion and Boog the bear, they all share their own pampered life. Like Alex lived in the zoo, and Boog lived in the garage with Ranger Beth, and they both do performances for their own shows, like how Alex does his little stance thing, while Boog rides a unicycle and a little stick stage. Yeah. The next thing for the reflection is secondary protagonists that were showed them in the wild. For example, Marty the zebra, who helps Alex see that the wild isn't so bad, and Elliot, the one who brought Boog into the wild, and he was the one who showed him around. They both were secondary characters who became best friends with the predator, their apex predator or counterparts, and they really knew how to get along, especially through the wild. Yep. All right then. Another reflection. They ended up in the wild during the middle of the film. As you can see, they both got into some trouble when Boog was attacking Elliot for making him go out last night and go all crazy, a little sugar crazy. And Alex, he was trying to bring Marty back to the zoo, who, unfortunately, they were caught and they had to be sent back to the wild, which both of them were trying their best to get back to their own pampered lives. Well, until the end of their films, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Anyway, next one. They have bird-like characters with some military vibes. As you can see, there's these two ducks in the Open Season film. They have their own military ways, but they're kind of friends. But how I see them in their military ways is that they form a V formation, and they do it like some kind of a commanding way. However, there are only two left. While for Madagascar, we see that the penguins, they have their military vibes. It's like doing their soldier stuff, operations, that kind of military stuff. Yeah. Anyway, next reflection they showed off in both those films is territorial groups of animals. For example, McSquizzy and the squirrels who owns all the trees. They're basically their own forest homes. Like they all share the same trees in the forest. As for Madagascar, we get King Julian and the lemurs, which they all share the whole entire island. Well, there are some few animals in Madagascar, but still, they still share their own territories from each of their own worlds or own life in the wilds. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. Anyway, next reflection. They fought enemies in the first film, because if you see in Madagascar, their enemies that are trying to escape are the Fusa, the main predator of the lemurs. Thankfully, Alex managed to scare them off, while Boog, which the main enemies were the hunters, which Boog had led the animals to help scare them away and attack them off for good. But there's a little difference between them, how it's completely different. So instead, Alex scared the Fusa away, while Boog, with the help of the other forest animals, they scared them off. So it took one army to scare off the hunters, while it took one lion to scare off the Fusa. Yeah, anyway. The last reflection is they went off to a circus during the third film, because as you can see, Madagascar, they went off to a circus, and in Open Season, they went off to the circus on the third film. So, yeah, that's a little difference in there. Now, it's time for the differences. The real main reason why I don't really think that Open Season and Madagascar aren't really reflecting on each other, but I can see how my brother says that there are some few things, but here's some few that I managed to put on my list right here. So the first difference is in Open Season, there are only two main characters, that includes Boog and Elliot, while in Madagascar, they focused on four main characters, which is Alex the lion, Marty the zebra, Gloria the hippo, and Melman the giraffe. So in Open Season, it's like a duo, while Madagascar is like a team, a group. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. Anyway, this one is kind of a tie-in between the reflection and the difference, because the next one is there's a crazed hunter that is trying to hunt down the main character, or like the animal control who is trying to hunt down Alex, and Shaw, probably one of my favorite non-Disney villains. That one might be coming soon. He was trying to hunt down both Boog and Elliot. The difference for that one is she was introduced in the third film. I forgot her name because I don't really know a lot about Madagascar anymore, so please don't forgive me. And Shaw was introduced in the first film, so that's a good reason of how this one's a little bit different. Okay, next difference. Open Season only had 4 films, including the first one, the second one, the third one, and a Scared Silly film, while Madagascar only had 3 films, which include the first one, Escape to Africa, and Europe's Most Wanted, including the penguins in the Madagascar film, not including the show that I reviewed a while back. However, I heard there was going to be a 4th Madagascar film. However, it was canceled. But if you want to see that, then you gotta wait for it, dude, because it might take a while if they want to bring back Madagascar 4. Anyway, the next difference is during the movie, after Alex was adapting to his wild ways, he went all a little stir crazy and started hunting down his friends and tried to evade himself from hunting down others because he was adapting to his predatory instincts. While in open season, Boog didn't. He was mainly focusing on trying to head back to the garage, his home in Timberline. So that's the perfect difference for that for both those main characters. All right, the next reflection, the third film, which they included both of them having the circus. However, there's a huge difference in that. In Open Season 3, there was a character who wanted to live out in the wild, and that's where he met Boog. So he planned on switching places with them, where Boog would be the bear, Doug for the circus, while Doug lived out as Boog. However, they managed to switch back in time where everything was back to normal, the way it was in the final part. Anyway, during Madagascar 3, they didn't really have a switching plot. They just decided to just join in. But that's a difference in that for open season. They switched out the characters, while in Madagascar, not so much. Next reflection. Madagascar went into the wild, while open season tried to travel around a domestic camping group during the second films. So as you see, in Madagascar 2, they were trying to head back to New York with an old plane, but it didn't work out so well, and instead they went out to Africa, which is a wild part of Africa, where Alex met his family, his long-lost parents. While in open season, while Elliot was getting ready to marry Giselle, he noticed that Mr. Weenie was back to her original owner, in which they tried to rescue him and bring him back to the wild, where in the final point of the film, they went off to a domestic area where they show off a lot of domestic animals there. So there is completely a huge difference for Open Season 2 and Madagascar 2. Alright, next one. Most open season films, except for the first one, were all direct to film, while direct to DVD. While Madagascar, they were all theoretical. So, after Open Season was released in 2006, they had 3 direct to DVD films, only released in DVD. However, I checked it, and some countries may have released it in the theaters, while in the USA, they sold it out to DVDs. Sorry, I've been talking a lot, and it's hard to keep on track. But anyway, all 3 of the open season film sequels were released on DVDs, while for all the Madagascar films, including the Penguins of Madagascar, they were all released in the theater. So yeah, you can see why how Boog and Elliot, their voice actors, are a little bit different, because it's how they were released in direct to see DVDs. Yeah. Anyway, next one. There are most forest animals shown in open season, while Madagascar only had 2 animals that were shown there. As you can see, in open season, there are some other animals that we introduced that is not a bear or deer. There's also some squirrels, some skunks, ducks, another herd of deers, which was the same herd that Elliot was in until he was kicked out, and some beavers, including some porcupines, some other animals that were in there. as for Madagascar, not a lot were shown. There were only at least two animals, including lemurs and fusas. And there might have been an alligator in there. I don't really know. No, I haven't really seen Madagascar for a long time. Mainly because I gave up on it. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Madagascar anymore because I never really liked the characters. Anyway, here's the last and final thing for the difference for Madagascar in open season. So, for open season, Boog, he decided to stay in the forest with the other animals because he started to learn that the forest isn't a bad place for him. So he decided to stay home in the forest with Elliot and the other animals, while the gang, the Madagascar gang, they wanted to head back to the zoo with their pampered lives, and it took 2 films to let them decide where they wanted to belong. And in the 3rd film, they chose to stay in the circus. So that's another good reason why open season and Madagascar are a little bit different. But I could see how my brother actually sees the reflections for Madagascar in open season. I'm not saying it's kind of a copycat. There's some few differences in open season than Madagascar are there. If there was one copycat that Madagascar would have, it's Disney's The Wild, which I never really watched. You know, the one with they were living out on the zoo life until Samson's son Ryan was taken away, and they had to go out to the wild to save him. That would be a perfect copycat for Madagascar. Yeah. Anyway, little water break because I was talking a lot and it got me so exhausted. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. So what do you think of this comparison video? Like I said, it's my first time. I'm not including the time when I compare both Aladdin films because I was mainly focusing on the 2019 film while I was bringing up some few things from the 1992. But anyway, what do you guys think? Would you like to see more of the videos like this? If you do, then make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll at least find something to compare with both of each other. Now, before I end, here is question of the day. Which of these films that I featured of this video do you like more? Madagascar or open season? I would choose open season because I think it's a really cool film, and I was big on this. I used to be big on Madagascar too. However, I kind of gave up on it because I started to realize the characters are a little more annoying, and I really hated that. So that's why I prefer open season than Madagascar. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for some more videos coming real soon. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, it's me, BDH. But I'm also known as the Brick Dragon Hero. That video was great, huh, Applex? You said it, BBJ. And if you want to see more of the Brick Dragon Hero videos, all you gotta do is subscribe. Follow Brick Dragon Hero on Instagram. Like for this video. Share this with your friends.
And comment down below what you think of that video.
And don't forget to check out the last video. So thanks for watching and have a brick day. Whoosh.